Okay, so today I want to talk about the one mind shift that changed my life. It helped me become an entrepreneur and build 2 businesses from the ground up, a successful video podcast, and also create the content that you see here. And it could sound very cheesy and too ideal for today's day and age, but bear with me because it could potentially change your life. And what I'm talking about is notion of going all in. It's a mindset that you have to put in everything you have into everything you do. I remember a year and a half ago when I was planning to kick off my YouTube journey here in Canada, I was explaining this concept to my friend and telling him that I wanted the videos to be top notch and super high quality. I was telling him about the equipment I plan to use, the lighting, the storytelling, the editing and whatnot. And he was like, why? Why care so much about quality? I thought about it and tried explaining to him that I wouldn't have it any other way. If I want to brand this as my video, then I want the video to really stand out.
Only the best and the brightest.
And that, I think, has been my motto for so many years now, to get so good that they can't ignore you. Shout out to Cal Newport for writing a book with the same name. But yeah, the same thing applied to my podcast too. When I got started with creating it a few years ago, it was about creating a one-of-a-kind video podcast that looked and felt so unique that you'd be so intrigued. I didn't need a full-blown 3-camera setup and shooting in flat or log profile and then color grading it to make the video look cinematic. And then also shoot additional footage and make the intros look cinematic and whatnot. I mean, it's a freaking podcast for crying out loud. But no, I took it very, very seriously and I wouldn't have had it any other way. The same thing with our media house too. When we started taking on clients, especially for basic social media videos, we could have shot with an iPhone or basic equipment, but instead we went all out in getting the right equipment, storyboarding, thinking through the shots, pre-production, edits, and the content strategy, eventually over-delivering for them, and of course their videos stood out. If you're confused about this whole podcast and media house piece, or you're intrigued, then check out my previous video because I go into how my podcast blew up and how I made over 100K without sponsorships. Anyway, that's the same thing you see here too with these videos. I believe it in my bones that you need to go all in and no half-assing things.
Professionals have standards.
But that's so obvious or such a cliche, right? I'm sure you're rolling your eyes thinking, look at this poser. Of course, Akash, we all know that we need to do our best.
Get a load of this guy.
Yeah, but are you though? For instance, if you're cribbing about your job on a regular, chances are that you're not giving it 100%, and so maybe it's time to find another job that fulfills you. I know of a lot of people who are constantly complaining about things here in Canada, and chances are they're sleepwalking through life, even if they're super performers or whatnot. I know of numerous people who say they want to spend time on some hobby of theirs, or work on a side hustle, or build the next big startup. And they either never get started, or they finally do, and then it all fizzles off way too quickly. So there's clearly a difference between all of that and wholly 100% committing to something. And that's what I want you to know today. It's all or nothing. Growing up, I used to watch Cristiano Ronaldo and think this guy is just gifted. But the more I studied his life and what he does on a regular, I realized that it was more commitment than being gifted. The guy had a seriously ridiculous work ethic, and you can see that translate into how he became one of the best players in the history of the sport. FYI, I still think Messi is the better player, but if I were to pick one person who I would want to learn from, it would be Cristiano.
Mira, bobo. ¿Qué mira, bobo? Anda para allá, bobo. Anda para allá.
Tranquilo, Leo.
And maybe it's being exposed to these people very early on that I started modeling my life the same way too. And now it's gotten to a point that anything I do, it needs to be really freaking good. Almost in the top 1%. I talk about this on my LinkedIn time and again, and you can kind of see it here on my videos too. And my media house's mission statement reflects that as well. Create quality content in the top 1%. And so my thumb rule for big life choices have always been, if it's not a hell yeah, it's a hard no. And so if everything I've said till now didn't convince you, then allow the OG self-help expert to explain.
Do or do not. There is no try.
May the force be with you.